Stakeholder trust. Why do we care? In August 2019, the Business Roundtable CEOs came out with this new statement on the purpose of a corporation, saying that Americans deserve an economy that allows each person to succeed through hard work and creativity and to lead a life of meaning and dignity. And that the CEOs like Jeff Bezos and Jamie Dimon all now agree that they are committed to all of their stakeholders by delivering value to customers, investing in their employees, dealing fairly and ethically with their suppliers, supporting communities in which they work, and generate long-term value for shareholders. That each of their stakeholders is essential and they want to protect their dignity, etc. When I talk with students about this, they react in very interesting ways. How do you react to such a statement? My students react with a lot of cynicism. They say, yeah, sure, what's next? What has Jeff Bezos done? How does he treat his employees? How does Walmart squeeze its suppliers? How do they honor dignity? How do they create value for the communities in which they are? In many ways, they are not. If that resonates with you, we're right at the middle of the dilemma that most organizational leaders are facing. They're not trusted. People don't believe them. What happens if you don't trust statements of CEOs? What happens if the majority of people, employees, customers, citizens are cynical about business? It's not helpful, to say the least. And over time, in a global perspective, business, large business, has lost trust. This is a rather old kind of graph, but that's when people started paying attention. After the crisis of 2001, people were looking at, okay, which type of organizations are actually trusted? And this is an aggregate graph that wasn't continued for much, but you can see global companies at the time were mistrusted. National governments weren't trusted much. Large local companies were trusted just a little bit. The United Nations had a little bit more trust, and NGOs were the most trusted. And yet their trust was declining. This is an average of 14 countries. In a national perspective, who do people trust? Trust in the mass media, in the reporting, is going down. How much trust do you have in your political leaders? In the business sector leaders? In the leaders in education? Your religious leaders? Rather old numbers here again will suggest that not very many people, at least in the US, have a great deal of confidence in any of their leaders. What can you do if you're a leader and nobody really trusts you? It's very hard. Leadership in that context is in crisis. The relevance of stakeholder trust is important and increasing, because how can you create solutions to the global problems, the environmental sustainability challenge, the social sustainability challenge, if you cannot collaborate? And the core of collaboration is trust. Think about these numbers. Do that with your own country. Think about it for yourself. Who do you trust the most and why?